If you like what you see, then please subscribe, eh? And if you like what we do, then smash that like button too. And if you like to check it out, leave a comment down below. I like radar crypto. I like radar crypto. I like radar crypto. Radar.
I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this, I can get you through this, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad.
People from all walks of life on the train like cold smashed ice. Vagabonds and marriages that's gone wrong. Glory, death, and coffee shops. TV categories called reality. Polluted nature by corrupt ministries. We're all passengers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Ooh, ha. That rumbling sound. In every building, a gamer
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dog. My name is Lane and I will be your tour guide this evening as we just navigate through the charts trying to reach our crypto destination. Don't let the appearance startle you. I was Kamala Harris for a few minutes last night. Now that should really scare you. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I got Strega in the house. I see you there. I got some people lurking and I'm welcoming you here. Strega's up 27 cents, man. Hey, congratulations, Strega. That is the start to riches. It all starts with that first step, baby. Is it one of those days? It should be a pretty decent day. Guys, do let me know if my sound is off or the music's too loud, anything like that. Few things to talk about tonight, but you know, we're mostly here for the altcoins, right? Mostly here for the crypto, right? That's what we're trying to stick to. Let's check this out. Here on the top 100 for the yearly, this is what we got that is rolling hot on the top 100. Caspa's just killing it. Render, INJ. Stacks is doing pretty well, up 100% for the year. Just up there tying with Bitcoin Cash. Well, it's at 113, a little bit of a lead there. Conflux up 321%. Those are your strong coins in the top 100, all those in green on the yearly. What's been popping off for the week? Well, a lot of those same ones. I gotta admit, I do like looking at the yearly, just to see what's strong over here, right? What is this? You know, I've never noticed that before. We can go to the MEXC over here to our exchange, go to the year. These are all the hot coins for the year on MEXC. Nakamoto, 1100%. Yes, Nakamoto. Pendle up 1300%. Caspa 2700%. Ooh, baby, I wish I found you under a penny. That would have been nice. INJ 460, my INJ bags making me sauce. They're making me smile. Hello is up. Nice, nice, nice. What about Coinbase? How's Coinbase doing? Blue Zell up 247%. We'll be talking about that one tonight. TRB up 578% for the year. We're headed toward November, and these are the strong coins. All the rest of them not doing so great. Where do you think you should be in your portfolio? Do you think you should be maybe swinging toward looking at these stronger coins a little bit more? That's an idea. I like that idea. I favor that idea. I recommend that idea as crypto opinion. Because I am not a guru. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude on the internet that likes to dress funny and chart coins and teach TA as I do it. So if you're new to the stream, I'd like to shout out a welcome to you, whether you're watching now or maybe you stumble on this where somebody hit that like button. You know how much for those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. You know how much we appreciate that like button. Helps this very small channel reach a bigger audience. And slowly by slowly, they trickle in and catch our streams. Videos seem to do pretty well. I haven't made one of those in a little while. So we usually start out the stream with Bitcoin. Trying to figure out what is Bitcoin up to. And of course, I mean, if you're familiar with what I've been going over, we went over several different ideas, but this is what we got right now. And this is what I'm leading off with. This red trend line that we broke through, and you know, it looked like the world was going to come to the end. There were a lot of possible negative scenarios that could have played out, but we started curving up a little bit, ended up going parabolic, breaking back above that trend line. And what I like to keep bringing up to people's mind, now I'm not saying that this has to happen, but well, let's get on the right chart here. I'm just saying that this has a higher probability of happening. Let's come back over and take another look. This same trend line This just got it in orange there. Let's pop on over to this time 3 years ago. Just 3 years ago. Same setup. Same setup. Amazing. And right here we are 3 years ago with the same setup where we had the trend line, broke down below, looked like a bear trap, popped back into it, came up to the top of it at the end of October, very much like the end of this month. Now, will price do this and just start? This was the start of our bull market, or well, not the start, but this is when it was kind of evidence that, oh crap, things have changed. I don't know if this thing's going to go down anymore. And we're kind of at that situation right now. The only difference being that back in 2020, the halving had already passed us, and we have not had that yet. So will that affect what happens? I don't know. Very interesting. I do want to draw your attention to this, how we came out of an Ichimoku cloud, started riding above a green cloud. We pop back to where we are now. We popped out of the red Ichimoku cloud, and now we're riding a green cloud. What is left for us to do, my friends, is the break out of this area. If and only if we rise above this and hopefully retest it. It'll probably be on the shorter term time range, probably an immediate retest, but it's got to solidify this area of about 35,600 as being solid. And then maybe we can see some, I got to measure move here to target 38.8, but if that scenario comes into play, it would be foolish to sell so early, in my personal opinion, because this kind of breakout, if this happens, if this scenario plays out, it will be parabolic, up, quick, crazy. How far can it go? Well, we're in a channel. Take the width of the channel, put it out the breakout area, and we're calling for 48,900 if that scenario holds true. A lot of confluence with that, with the support and resistance area that we can see over here at 48,003. What is that? 360 on this particular chart. Bitcoin, just the index chart I'm on the index. That would be interesting. I just don't. I'm wondering how we're going to skip out of this range. There's always possibility we could just be ranging out here. Always possibility we could get dumped back down here. So I'm not trying to be moon boy. I'm just saying the scenario, and they like to get us here on the weekends, just right where we could just go either way, hold us here on the weekend, and then come Monday and Tuesday, they start figuring, letting us in on what they really got planned. So tomorrow, everything, my goodness. Here on the daily, look what just happened today. Your official bullish signal right here, golden cross, 50 moving average crossed over the 200. The blue line here crossed over the yellow one. That is your buy signal. Now that does not necessarily mean buy today, but it's a good advice for the next pullback that we get. You might want to load up a little bit heavier than what you normally would have, because that looks bullish. It looks bullish. So even with this golden cross here, it's still possible to get rejection here and maybe fall back either to the halfway mark, this 9 moving average about 33,500, or down to the bottom of the channel about 32.5. And I've been looking for 32.5. A lot of things were saying we were getting ready to head down there, right? Or a strong possibility that we would head down there. If we get rejected up here, that's where I expect us to head, 32.5. Question is, will we get rejected here? And that's just there's a lot of strong indicators here, a lot of strong buy signals here. Now, if this happens with Bitcoin, it will help our altcoins. Although at some point, if Bitcoin starts going parabolic, altcoins, it will lift altcoins, but it will outperform those altcoins. So if you check out your altcoins against the BTC pair, you'll see that the number go down. You'd be better off to be in Bitcoin. One of the reasons why I do recommend holding at least half of your portfolio in Bitcoin, if not more. Because for me personally, it's all about Bitcoin. I'm in altcoins too. get more Bitcoin because Bitcoin is so dang hard to get. It's hard to build those bags now that it's up to $35,000, $34,000. It wasn't that easy when it was down to 20,000. But that was a good time. Stricker says, awesome code, by the way. Hey, I appreciate that. It glitteries. So I think I got my chat up and working, right? I keep losing it though. I have to come down here and find it again. All right. And I look up at this huge monitor. I had this bright idea to put like a 54-inch TV up high so that I could divide it up into little screens, you know, put little charts all over it, and also use it on the stream. And it's just too much, dude. And it's way up there. It hurts my neck to look at. I use it more for the TV. All right, so let's get into some yummy talks about altcoins. Now I do have is this my chat? What is that? I'm still trying to find my little chat box. I click on it and then it goes behind everything else. And I click where you should click it to move it. I like to bring it down here, man. Striker says Pendle's killing it. So yeah, that pattern looking like my stuff. All right. So now if Bitcoin does take off, and it may, man, I mean, the indicators are looking kind of happy. I'm just saying they are. We got money flow in the green here on the daily. Awesome. That's about as best of an indicator as you can get when you start seeing it still angling up higher. I don't care if VWAP is down here, it'll pull it back up. As long as money flow is in the green and growing, number going to go up. And you may have to struggle with it, whatever. Look here on the 5-day, it's going up, 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 up. And as long as money flow goes up, I'm you know, it makes me more bullish. Because you need money coming into it to make it go up, and that's what's happening right now, man. It's just it's still a tricky situation in my personal opinion. When you look on the daily here, you see that, you know, price is kind of at a standstill. Technically, it's been on a little bit of an uptrend, but we got some downtrend in the volume. So it's a little weak here, but it is, you know, of course, Sunday. We'll need to take a look at the weekly candle. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way for Bitcoin. We'll flip over to these Christmas tree candles over here. Come over here to the week, and there we are. It's like a God candle, like anybody want to? I got nothing bad to say about it. I don't. I think only people that were short in the bottom have anything bad to say about it. But definitely a nice candle. It's got a little bit of a wick there, showing some selling pressure up here at this trend line. I got a little line up there so you can't see it. Right there. But like we've been saying for a long time, I've been explaining this every time we look at the weekly chart about us being in this red Ichimoku cloud. And yeah, we can get pullbacks and everything in there, but this is what it normally does. It took it forever. I'm gonna switch over to my regular candles. I like Hakinashi candles because they take a lot of the noise out of it. To me, it's a lot easier. And if you're doing pattern trading like what I like to do, it just makes it a lot easier to identify those key areas that you want. Just a little secret. So to me personally, it's a great sign to be busting out of this cloud, and we have been for the last couple of weeks. Now we can go over other theories that we have not panned out, such as trading possibly in this range. Head and shoulders kind of started getting away from me when we started bowling out here a little bit. That's not typical what you see with the head and shoulders, but the ranging, I was all for that. Bitcoin had other plans, decided I just want to get bullish and get this over with. I don't want to sit around here and wait all day. Let's go. I've been waiting for that happening forever, man. That's like 4 years. Let's just do it. And, you know, we were also, okay, you know, we're just here for the ride, aren't we? So we're coming up to these areas where we're going to have some resistance about 38,000. There's a little bit of a range there. I'm being a little bit conservative there, but we could actually raise that up, unlock you, go right underneath these candle areas, because that was a hard place right there. Pretty solid, as solid as we can get. That's about 38. Confluence with our measured move area. or at least for one of our other measured moves. I should have marked that. I've already forgot what it is. It's on the smaller time frame. But our overall measured move right here that we could actually get to, man, 48,000. The move's there. If we break up above that, we got to break up above that trend line. That's the key. Rejection here just brings us back halfway or to probably down here to 30,008. That's a good support area right there. Break below that, and oh gosh, we got to. And there's a great chance. There's no reason why we at some point, either now getting rejected here or maybe later, say we come up all the way up here. Sometime we got to come back down to around 30,000 areas, $30,000, just to make sure that, hey man, this is stable ground that we're on. At some point we got to do that. This area may possibly be the new low for this in the next cycle. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's an idea to contend to with, but it doesn't mean anything until it happens. So Bitcoin gets bullish, and it looks like it could. It looks good. What's altcoins going to do? Altcoins. Yeah, now we're starting to get into the altcoins right over here. Let's get my squiggly lines off of here because, you know, price never actually follows my squigglies exactly ever. Hardly ever. Money is still coming out of Tether. And money is still going into the altcoins. So the key difference between Bitcoin dominance over here on the top right hand is that Bitcoin dominance can go up to the top of this channel, just like Bitcoin can in its channel. Dominance a little bit lower though, and get rejected there and pull back. Whereas altcoins, we got this big old breakout of a major trend line going right here. I mean, we can always get a pullback, but we got a much better chance of reaching this target of about $4.7 billion. About $50 billion coming into altcoins, meaning the bags are getting ready to pump. Or possibly. I'm going to stick with possibly. Keep it real. As an analyst, we should always mention possible. A lot of people I know are very quick to call things before they even have a remote chance to play out. And I just caution against that. That creates this. That's the FOMO. The emotions when they're not getting accurate information, and I like to try to give as accurate information as I can. If you just kind of be flippant about it and call things early and, oh, this is an ascending, blah blah, you know, making your own patterns up and deviating and all that kind of stuff, in my personal opinion, that can lead people astray, especially the newer people, and I just don't think that's proper. So I have some issues with that. Guys, if you got any altcoins you want me to take a look at, I'll be happy to do that. You can go ahead and send those into the chat. Hey, we got Chris in the house. We got Haven in the house. How's it going, guys? Glad to have you here. Otherwise, I'm going to be going over some, you know, some of the regular altcoins that we talk about here. One of them I think we talked about recently. Did we not? It's been a little bit, but we were looking at it. Meta. META. That was on the hot list. I think this was a Tokenmetrics play. It's interesting because it does have a breakout now. Let's come down to the daily charts. And the daily's got a green light for more upside. So it's got a retest area of the 21 movement average. Also retesting some support areas over here. So we got some targets that I think that 5.7 cent target will finally be a hit. That wick didn't quite get it, but I think we're getting it on the second time around here. Just want to look at there. Let's take a little bit of a measured move, put it at the breakout area. Now we have one. And measured move for this triangle that we're in. Well, that gets us up to 6.5 cents, 6.5 cents. Now we're currently at 4 cents. So we got about what, a 20%, 20%. Oh, more than 20%. What am I thinking? Where are we right now? I'm on a daily chart here. I got to remember that. So we got a candle that's pulled back halfway. That's actually a pretty decent sign, considering that we got the go ahead on some of these other indicators that this one wants to go up. Remember, money flow is starting to come into, getting ready to possibly, I want to say possibly, go to the green. It's headed right up that way. Normally would happen that way. So this one is in the area for anyone looking for a trade. I mean, we got a little breakout and there should be a pullback. It's pulling back right now, technically. And you can wait for it to get a little bit lower, however you want to play that. But the target looks pretty juicy. Let's go ahead and throw this little guy out there. That's like an 80% move there. And you could definitely use a tight stop loss. 5% looks pretty juicy to me, especially if you're doing this on spot. Just going below that candle, man, on the 4 hour. Because if you go below that candle open right there at the bottom, well, I mean, this moves over. This scenario would not play out. So that's a great place to put stop loss, in my opinion. That's about 6% there. And well, just depending on where you get in, I think there's a possibility of getting in at about 3.6 cents. May happen, may not happen. Possible, but getting to be a little bit less likely. Even if you were to FOMO in here, what would we have? I don't recommend it, but at least that's a 17% stop loss. You would definitely want to put your stop loss higher, but you'd be at a greater risk of being stopped out to play it that way. Just throwing that out there. I like the 9 moving average for a target on any time frame that you're trading. For a pullback, and you know it can't keep going up, so it's got to come back. Besides, we were in a wedge pattern there, and they do have about 64% chance to come back to the breakout area, so you got time to get in. Don't have to worry about FOMOing, but a trade that you can put on your books, put it on the back burner there and wait for it to play out. And you know what? It's been a while since I've posted one of these guys over to my Telegram group, and I got to start getting back in the habit of doing that. And let's go over to the Telegram group. All right, so I need to come on this little camera thing. I need to copy this link here. It will take a picture of the screen basically and go see if I can get my indicators, make it a little bit more readable. But I like that target up here at 65 for a long-term swing trade. I think that would be nice. I think I already have I mean, it's a small bag, a small position in this. I think so. I have to double check on that one. I was looking at it when it was rounding out here because that's what I like to do. I like to play with the whales. That's the whale strategy. All right, so copy that link. Open the Telegram and we go over to the chart room here, trade setups. Chris has been busy over there, Chris, man. Thank you so much for doing that. We also got Chris over there posting charts, man. Chris, oh man, when I look at how far Chris has come with his charts, man. For how long you been? When did you come over here? I mean, he didn't learn everything from me, and I'm not going to proclaim that. But I like to think that I helped to share a few ideas with him and gave him some resources to learn. And he's just been going, man. I mean, Chris, I remember looking back and I'd do a chart and I'd type out what, just what the indicators are saying, what I thought it would do. And it was just like, he looked at it like TA was amazement. And now look, he's knocking it out of the park, man. Chris, man, I appreciate you, brother. So I want to paste this chart over here right along with Chris's. I'm not going to go into detail on this, just for the stream time. It'll take me forever to type that out. So I'm just going to put meta 1 hour swing idea. Man, I'm impressed, Chris. I really am impressed what I'm seeing here. Great job, my man. Great job. That is starting to look like a trading group. My opinion is the true success for a community is the community itself. And I have nothing wrong with people monetizing things, but sometimes I think they take that a little bit too far, especially how they push it onto the new people. But a trading group is really all about its community and how everybody just shares and everything, and I love that. I love seeing that. And we got more. If it's more of a community than your typical trading group, but we do some of the things that trading groups do over there. And posting charts, I'll be posting more over there. I say that I haven't done it. I'm making the effort to get back into regular postings over there because, hey man, we're in a situation now where things are changing. So we can start seeing some upside out of these altcoins, and I think we want to take advantage of that. I do. Don't you guys? So here's one we've been looking at a little bit. It's BitTensor over on MEXC. Kind of keeping our eye on that because she's been coming up, right? She's up at $78. Had this trend line that should give it a hiccup. That one should. It busted above it. It poked a hole in it. So now I'm curious about that. It's starting to lose some ground here on the 4 hour, but you know, that's kind of significant for me for it to break above that trend line, even though it hadn't confirmed. It weakened it. So BitTensor is one. I think I saw someone tonight or something talk about it. I don't know. They weren't talking too favorably about it. I like this one. Now, if we see the same situation with Bitcoin where we break back into this trend line, this sucker is going to rock and roll. So we're looking like $106 at a Fibonacci level. I got there a measure move at 124. Technically, it's just good. It's got the opportunity to come back up and retest the top of this trend line. That can be anywhere from 125 to 131. We'll just have to track it at that time. But I do have those two targets there for it. But again, it's all critical on is maintaining above this actual trend line. But just the fact that it poked a hole there, that's kind of cool. Now we're in this situation too where we got kind of a rising structure. Technically you could say it's a rising wedge, which they usually always break to the downside, except when prices want to start going parabolic and they break to the upside. They do exactly the opposite of what they should do. And when they do the opposite of what they should do, you want to be on that train. So that may be a setup that we look for here. That's what I would want to see to know that we could reach these higher targets on BitTensor. I like BitTensor. Do have a bag of that. Nothing huge, but it's starting to grow. There's a very small amount of those coins in circulation. So in my personal opinion, you can look for some big growth out of this guy. And just to give you an idea of where we can go, come down to this double bottom here. Actually, I'm going to do this way. I'm going to get that trend line there. And get a target about 151 on that double bottom scenario. That'll take it a while to play out. It won't be easy. It won't be there fast, but when it gets there, that'd be good moonbag territory, in my personal opinion, for BitTensor. So gaming coins have been popping off. Nakamoto Games. Got a chart over here, MEXC. Going parabolic on the parabola. We even curved up more. This is what I'm talking about. Those rising wedge patterns and rising channels, when they break to the upside of it, well, that's when it gets hot and juicy. So Naka hit up to just right under $1. Apparently $1 is going to be a hiccup. We got this little, what is that, 89-cent area mapped out. That's where we reached a high there. We flipped that for support. Now Naka is in price discovery. It's one of the best places we want to be with the coin, is in price discovery. Now it will figure out what its true value is for this point in the market, and a lot of people like it. And I'm still looking for $1.12 out of Naka, even on up to $1.47. But I have a big old measure move, which is a hopeful one from this one. Just this range here, taking us up at $1.74, $1.75 area over time. Now, eventually this parabola will die down, and it's not going to be fun when that happens. Most likely what we'll see out of Naka is we'll come up to $108, $112 and we'll start, you know, doing our little flag down again. Just like we did over here. So you can expect maybe a little flag happen here and prices will come back. Good time to possibly add into your bags. You gotta kind of look and see if this thing's still gonna go, but we're in stage 1, stage 2. This is our stage 3. We can get 2 more of these little guys in there if it wants to go the full way. Most of them have broken down after the 3rd stage so far, and we haven't quite finished that one, so we got to see. But that 5th stage could take us up to 174 there. Just saying. Naka going parabolic. She trying to do something, baby. All right. So another one we want to take a look at that we have looked at recently before this big old pump was Blue Zell. And where are we at here? Blue Zell. Blue Zell's over on Coinbase. I don't know where I've got it charted though. That's okay. Coinbase. I want more history. Binance is the best place for Blue Zell. I think that was one of the places that it launched on. I remember when the Binance had this on their launch pad. So that's where you're getting most information. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So came up, hit the target at 28 cents. 34 is next on the list there from Blue Zell. Might it get a pullback? Well, of course it might. It might come back, retest 23. Blue Zell, when you zoom out, we're in this big old descending triangle. Take that measured move right there, put it at that breakout, and it says that it wants to come up here to 67, 68 cents. It's currently at 28 cents. It was hanging around 15 for a while, 12 to 20 cents. It was in that range for a little while. So I've got some exposure to this. I'm very happy about that. I wanted to build a bigger bag of it. Didn't quite get to do that at the time. But I got a decent little start. It can turn into something, especially if we start getting up to 68 cents. So my take on it is that it's going to be more of a longer midterm hold, I'd say, is what we'd call that. A midterm hold idea for me because, you know, I'm looking for these areas. I want to moonbag this baby and then let it ride. Pull out my capital that I put in there and then let the profits run. And that is one of my strategies, and that is a OG well strategy to do that. Majority of people in this market do not make their fortunes trading perpetual futures. They weren't even around. The OGs didn't mess with that. That didn't come to like 2018. That's after Tether hit Ethereum and all that stuff. 2016, 2017. Futures came out in 2017. That's actually what tanked our market was the, I believe it was the CME futures being authorized there at the $17,000 Bitcoin. Have my timelines correct. Let's come back and check with the chat here. As soon as I get my chat to work. Oh, we got some requests here. Okay, 0x. Games and AI are pumping lately. I'm glad I noticed that. That's one of the advantages that I have, I think, to having this late night stream is that we start noticing things. Maybe I can beat the daytime guys before they get to it. Maybe it gives me an edge. Maybe there is. I'll tell you one thing. When China comes back into it, the time that we're at right now will be popping. It will be popping. If China gets their fingers back on crypto, and I do think that they will, I'm not sure when, but man, that's when we're really going to see this stuff take off like crazy. Like crazy. So look at Gallon, look at Sam. We can do that. Yes, we can. Just make sure I'm not. And Floki Safe Moon. Floki Doji's in the house. And Marco says big time. Big time pumped, looking like he wants to make them. Let's check them all out, baby. Now I think I've already. Do I? I didn't erase that, did I? Did I miss that? Let me go ahead and get this one set up. It was on Dex Tools. $40C3 was the contract, if I remember. That sticks in my head for some reason. Floki Safe Moon, I do have some exposure to this because I liked where it was in the charts. Let's come over to the 4-hour chart here. Kind of take some of this. Oh, nice. So I think I initially got in somewhere over here around this double bottom area, and then we came down a little bit lower, which, you know, we did. And then I think I added more somewhere through here. I think where I can't remember. Maybe I think I added a little bit. I don't know. It's a small bag that I've got, but I was playing with this. But nice pump out of Floki Safe Moon there, man. And I'm still waiting for it to hit that 618 area at, what is that? All these zeros, and it's 88.70. Current price on it right now is 47.36. So still got a 2x coming from that. From the setup that we had on that, and it was by the pullback, right? And then break back into the pattern. That did not look good, but turn of events went back out, so bullish again. So that's kind of cool. Combined at this 4,000 level and selling at 8,000, hey, that's a moon bag, baby. I likes the moon bag, but this is a chart. It already had its pump up, and then we did our down and sideways, found our bottom, and now it's time to, you know, accumulation is basically over. It's time to start riding up a little bit. So definitely can go even higher up to 1221. Definitely see that as one of the next moves there, and that's even more amazing for a return. So I like that possibilities of this. Remember, this is a meme coin, and they just outright say it. Hey, baby, we are a meme coin. It does have one thing I'd like about it that made me really want to give it a shot. One of the things that kind of won me over to it. Yeah, I don't see what I'm looking for there. Oh, bang. Getting off topic there. So look what we got. Rounding. That's accumulation. And you can expect it to come back up to the area where it first started. That's why we're looking at that 1221 area. It's an 886 retracement just from this. I just like what I see on here. And definitely can see it making it up to that point. Let's take a look at Gala. So Gala's kind of interesting, right? That's just, it's a hard one for me to think about, because if this were Tesla, and I don't know, or any other major company, and you got two founders that start suing each other, and you know that pretty much, you know, people back out of that. Nobody's interested. Will that hinder the development of Gala? I mean, that's a legitimate question we got to ask. So I don't know. I think what we're actually seeing is a lot of people saying they're just going to take that risk, because most of us in crypto were risk takers, or we wouldn't be here, right? And I think people are just seeing this as an opportunity to buy this at the low. as kind of a lottery ticket. And, you know, I can't blame them for that, because if you want to get into a project you really believe in, you can't look at a much better place than at this bottom area, man. It was less than a penny. It's just 2 cents now, right? So it's already 100x from where, or almost 100x from where you got down to. A nice big return, almost double your money just from the lows it got to. If you held this, you watch those bags just disintegrate in front of your eyes, and that was probably not fun. But I mean, at this point, my personal opinion is a lottery play. But I mean, they gotta, you know, projects can build back and they can overcome their weaknesses, but most of them don't. So just interesting. I'm not trying to badmouth it or not. I'm just saying you're either in a really, really awesome place to build a bag of this and maybe make a butt ton of money, or, you know, you're, you know, taking a risk at probably the safest time for a dying project. It's one of the two. So I don't know. I gotta, for the degen investor wanting to make a big buttload of money, I give it a green light. Just know what you're getting into. Just know what you're getting into. It may not do anything. It may not go anywhere. They may not resolve their differences, you know, in this legal action. You know, there could be bankruptcies. There could be all kinds of things that this would go. This is not a decentralized play, remember? So, and lots of people getting scared, and which we've seen a lot of sell-offs there. I don't know. I mean, the risk is there, but if you take that risk, you earn that reward, and that reward could be mega. Because if they do make a comeback, and let's say they just go back to $1, right? At 2 cents, you 50 extra money. If you're smart or ballsy enough, if you had the balls to get in on this double bottom down there, then, you know, that could be 100x. So it's what we're looking for in crypto. So I can't knock it. Cannot knock it. I do need to see it make a few more improvements here. I need to see it get above this area at 2.2 cents and hold that. And then we can look for some more upside. But there's some divergence there. Are you speaking to me, Naka? Are you trying to talk to me? You trying to tell me that I should hit a buy button on you? Is that what you're saying? Like you're buying the top, road dog? No. Now I'm not catching the juicy move if I did that. But this is when things first start to move, and they can move more. Whether this is Gala or anything else we're charting, this situation we're starting to see, right? And it's going to feel like you're buying high on some of these. What they would say in the trading group is buy high and sell higher. And that's how they played it. And they would just play these flags and things like that like crazy. I think we're at a period in the market where that might be our strategy. I like this. I like this trend line. It found a bounce off of there. It's going up. I think it's got potential. And at 2 cents, what's up with you, Gala? How many coins you got? I'm sure it's a ton. Going back real quick over to the Floki Safe Moon, the market cap was 40 million. That's what I was trying to say, that I brain farted on. One of the things with the low market cap, just a good place to get in on that. Squirrel. So short term, I'm looking for Gala at least get the 3 cents. Indicator, I mean, there's the divergence there is what's really getting me. I like the divergence. When you get a downtrend and then you finally get that divergence on the bigger time frame, like the daily, man, that usually means turnaround time. That's what we're looking for, an actual bullish divergence on a downtrend. And that means trend is changing, still in the early phases of it. So the buy high and sell higher. You can wait for a pullback, but will it come? That's the only thing. if they get real bullish, you may not get that. So chasing those 9 moving averages, that's helpful. It's on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour. The 9 and 21s are good targets that it can hit. But I gotta say, man, it's looking kind of, as money flow's coming into it. Gala Games looks like it's getting ready to do something. Now we look and see how many tokens they have. There are 50 billion tokens. That's a lot. Half of those are in circulating supply, it says. $500 million market cap. Meaning if they unleash all the rest of those other tokens, we would have to double our market cap just to maintain this current price. So there's just some concerning things about there. There are some token unlocks and things like that going on with Gala, just to be aware of. So but man, I like what I'm seeing there, actually. 0x ZRX. Let's take a look at that. Binance would have the best chart. Nice bottom there. So we got this little trend line giving it a little bit of a headache right there. And notice all these trends are holding the same angle, so that's kind of interesting to me. I'll just put that one back over there. We'll dot him. So that's interesting. We're basically looking at a double bottom scenario possible. All we got to do is wait for it to come back up to these areas. Got to measure move at 34 cents. We really need to get back up to this area. 38. Just right under 39 cents. Get above that, and then we got our double bottom here. And I like double bottoms because you get a nice little measured move. Basically, this whole channel from the top up here all the way down to the bottom, and it's basically just the same as a channel. And it takes us up to 63 cents there. Juicy. Now, it does not mean it's going to go straight up or anything. It's going to have its struggles. It's going to have its fight, but eventually, after it completes this pattern, that's what we're looking for. So we have a possible double bottom, and it looks nice to me. A little hard to really draw a solid trend line on this. I would think my advice in a situation like this where it's just jagging and like, I can't tell what's going on. I think it's good to start looking at some angles like here. So from these bottoms, we got a trend line established there. I'm gonna color code this one a different color. Let's go with orange. Press Control, hit that little guy, bring it up to the top, and now we kind of see where it falls in. And in my opinion, that's the best way to handle a situation like that. And you can see where it's poked holes in there, it's poked holes again, and we got a breakout of this actual trend line. So I think that's promising for here. And again, we can do it just a measure move from this just to this breakout point, and then that gives us a target to shoot for at 46 cents. So several targets to look at there. And we do have some confluence with that one, with this 1.272 Fibonacci area coming in at 45.6 cents. So confluence with that measured move. That means there's a higher chance for that to hit, in my personal opinion. I think that's a good target to have. So a trade setup could possibly look like this. Stop loss, I would put right under that. We're on the day. I'm on the daily here. You would nil in your entries, come down to the smaller time frames, but just to kind of get an idea. You could do a 10% right under that daily candle, underneath that daily non-moving average. We lose that non-moving average, is not going to do this. It's not going to play out. So that's a good place for a stop loss. Currently 9% there. Come to a smaller time frame, kind of zoom in just a little bit. Get a little bit better feel. Oops, I moved something. Move him over here just a little bit. So I think a pullback is in order. And again, like the 9 moving averages, I would be looking for that. That's coming in at 25.22. And just the top of this wick, that would be a good place. I would look for that for a pullback, or you could FOMO in. If you FOMO in, you got to really, you know, take a look at your stops. Personally, I don't like to go over 10% on a stop if I can help it. And you can put this one underneath this last low, and that will give you 11 and a half. You still get a good risk reward ratio. It's 6.8 to 1. So that's still an outstanding risk reward ratio. Give you a 78% return. I would think that. So if it's say, if we put $1,000 in on this trade and we got it down here at this price at 25.62. Well, that means that our $1,000 would be, whoops, put that up there all the way, 82%. That means that almost 81%, let's go with that, that we would get about $1,800 back, making about $800 profit, and we would only risk $110 to do that. That since I adjusted this, that's a 7 to 1 risk reward ratio, and that's good. Anything over 4 is good. A lot of people settle for 3. Chris says a buy ape. What's ape doing? I got mixed feelings about ape. Oh, she's popping, isn't she? As a use case and everything, I kind of wonder. I've been an ape, and I still got a small. I've got some ape that's stuck on KuCoin's wallet. Their chain. They have their own KuCoin chain, like Binance does. Well, I moved some over there just to hold it. And of course, it's on their chain, and now that and sand, I can't move over to KuCoin to maybe put it into something regular. So that's been a hassle. I think I got some on crypto.com over there. So we got this trend line, right? That was our support. It was there for a long time. Now it's resistance. So is it going to break through that? It's got signs that it wants to do it. I'll give you that. We've got rise in price and fall in volume here on the 12 hour. So that means this trend's getting weak. But it's looking strong here, being above the 9 moving average. So I can't knock it on that. Ichimoku cloud looks good. You know, we're popping out of the red. We got the green that we could ride above. So that's looking good. It's nice thin cloud. It's this 200 moving average that we got to worry about here. Is that going to reject us? Because it could. We could see that rejection there, especially since we got this trend line. That'd be my only concern about this right now. But now if we do see it break up above the 200 moving average and hold it, it'll probably pop right through that trend line. So that's the scenarios I would look for. Something that might be in its favor is the 50 moving average crossing the 100 over here. That's this blue line crossing that 100. That could help, but from what I see, it could definitely go bullish, but it could also just go through a little pullback. Let's take a fib, and we're pulling back to the 236 right now. This 382 level at 130 could come into play. Like maybe it'll get rejected here, come back to one of these areas, maybe even down as low as here. I'd hope not. I'd hope the 382 would hold at 130 and then attack it again. So it may not make it this time, but here on the 12, I'm not seeing a sign that it wouldn't. As long as it's above the 9, that's good. But there is some bearish divergence that is forming there. So just be mindful of that. We got price going up and it's going down a little bit on the RSI here. So a divergence there. And that's your regular bearish divergence, which should mean a trend change. That's normally what that means, except when things start going parabolic. And a lot of things have been going parabolic. So that's the exception. That's why I'm saying, you know, let's don't act immediately on that. Let's kind of keep an eye on it, because it may have another idea. A lot of these coins may have other ideas. But it is in a rising wedge, and it should break to the downside. It should. And we should see these areas probably come back into play if it does. I'm hoping that it'll only come here, but truthfully, if it breaks this, it should come back to $1.18, $1.24, just to be real with you. Even just back to 109, technically, when they break back. These patterns usually come back to about the areas where they start, very close to it. But if she breaks to the upside, it will go crazy. Ichimoku Cloud kind of likes that idea. I just think she needs a cool off. And are we seeing a cool off here? We just popped down to touch the 21 moving average. And that's okay. That still means we're still bullish in the bullish trend, because our strongest trends will bounce off of those two, right? It can even come down to the 50 at the bottom of this trend line. So that spike, I'm not liking that, and I don't like that we close back into the pattern. That's kind of an issue for me. So I at least look for the 50 moving average. We caught about 135 right through here, bottom of this pattern, and hopefully it won't break to the downside. The plus side that we got on ape that it may hold here is that money flow has been coming into it. Really a difficult one. It should break to the downside. In all honesty, the typical TA, this should break to the downside. But if we're getting a bullish move out of altcoins in general right now, it may be enough to bring it back into this pattern. If it does, you know, we're looking at 216 on it and going to the top of this pattern, the top of this larger pattern, which could put us about back to $4. So that's the scenario we're looking for. Here's the good thing I would say. If this is, looks like the money flow is coming up. I mean, I know it's got a green dot here. It's got the red dot here on the daily, but look at money flow. Leveling out a little bit, but it's still been coming up. If it breaks up in this pattern, makes this into a bear trap, expect that and it may even be bullish enough to pass that when we get these bear trap ideas. A lot of times you'll see them go to the upside and maybe even above it. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on ape. If it shows those signs getting back above this trend line, it could go ape. It could go crazy. All right, so I had this. I gotta take a minute to just talk about our thumbnail that we had tonight, talking about Ben. I think he's lost his mind, man. It may just be me. I've been kind of irritated at some influencers lately with some things I see them do. When you see them start stealing a lot and just returning, if that's what they keep talking about a lot, that's a red flag for me. Every YouTube channels, I mean, we try to monetize this one because it gets expensive with these things, right? But I'm not going to be that guy that's out here saying, you need to join this and you need to pay this and you need to blah, blah. I'll mention something and then I got my little subliminal ads, my little airplanes just flying around. I'll let them do that work for me. Because honestly, when I get in the charts, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to start here. I don't want to take time to shield stuff. And I don't plan on shielding stuff. But there's nothing wrong with that, partnerships and like Tangem, I partner with, or I'd say that. You could say yeah, it's a partnership with Tangem. Because I believe in their product and it benefits my audience, gives 10% off the price. So those things are fine. It's just some of the other stuff you see that come out, like for instance, what he's been doing lately, man. He's got this new indicator he's unleashed to help you make millions called High IQ. Totally unproven, and when you dived into it, how it's based on professional traders. Who do you think those professional traders are? They're his YouTube buddies. The other traders out there, I mean, come on, let's get real. Let's get real. And I'm just telling you, Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of creepy. But here's something he came out with tonight. I just think, I don't know, man. I think Ben... I don't know. Here's another video he's got out tonight was Legal ID, the Republic of Palu. So here's what he was saying. Here's what I'm going to call him out on this. His video talks about having a citizenship in another country. And he talks about having, you know, a dual citizenship, another citizenship. But as soon as you go into this video, and even right there, he even reads it out here. It says, please note, a Palau digital residency ID serves as an identification document, not a certificate of citizenship. And that's okay. That's one regular. Now we're talking about ways that we can access. He's talking about ways to use this, and it's an interesting idea, but I don't know. Google US and Palau, and you'll see that there's a maritime agreement there. And now you might be thinking that's about fisheries and things like that, but we're also talking about maritime law. And maritime law is probably the strongest law we got out there, the most enforceable out there. It covers a lot more than that. It also covers commerce. Maritime commerce falls under maritime law, if you don't know. US has got this country in its pocket. So you go over here and you get your little digital ID so that you can KYC into Binance or whatever, KuCoin or whatever exchange that needs KYC, but you're doing it from here with a VPN. That does... I can't tell if that's fish or if that's poo-poo. I can't tell what that is. I don't like that's... And he just recently did this himself. He just jumped in on this and, you know, of course, talking about the affiliate link. Here's the other thing. So the benefit of this is that, well, it's supposed to help bring revenue to Palau. How will they do that? Well, here's something he did not talk about. I mean, they're talking about, oh, we can go in there. It says they will not charge taxes. Let me read it. So you can get this ID for like, it lasts for a year and you have to keep renewing this. It's like $250 or something. So I'm not seeing, it was talking, I was hoping I could read it off of here. It says, please always stay on top of the tax obligations in your current residence. It says that they're not going to tax anybody on anything that's, on income that's received outside of Palau. And that sounds cool, right? But you got to think about this. If this is your portal to get into Binance or whatever, yeah, I think legally they can say that, well, you owe income tax because you went through that portal. I don't think he's really thought this out, and maybe I'm just being too much an asshole or being too strict. I'm saying no. And I'm like I say, Ben, man, Ben, baby, Ben. Baby, we gotta have a talk. I know you want to get your channel up there. I understand that, baby. I understand, but I'm concerned. I'm just concerned. You got 64,000 subscribers. That's awesome. I applaud you for that. This music sounds freaking loud. But Ben, baby, I just have to really question your stability. And I don't know, man. We know in the past, there's no doubt that you would take money to steal coins. And I remember Nimic. You remember Nimic? Yeah, I remember Nimic. Because this was at a time when I was new and I was thinking, hey, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. You said it was going to be an excellent play, and me and my newbie just getting back. Don't get this wrong. I've been in crypto for a long time, but I did take a little vacation there and come back, and so try to get fresh of all these new projects. Mr. Armstrong was one of the first channels I watched there, and I was like, oh, he gotta know something. Okay, let's start looking at the dynamic. It's just, I think as an influencer, you need to take responsibility that a lot of the new people come in, you have a lot of influence over them. So some of the things that I see go on just kind of bother me as far as new people coming into space and people that's been here. Because I guarantee you, me coming over here and talking up a coin or something will have an impact on something. So I want to make sure if I'm talking it up, that I'm talking up valid points, and not just because I'm trying to make a click or make a buck or shill something. I don't know. I mean, Ben, baby, I know you lost a lot. I know you've been through a lot, baby, but I think you're losing your mind. I'm just thinking that you're doing some things that just awful questionable, baby. Family values. That's all I'm going to throw out there, man. I don't know how you're going to do this if you're not kind of centered inside. And so, Ben, I hope you find your centeredness. My real concern is for your viewers, because if you're not centered, I don't know that I would really trust that information. And now you got pressure on you because having lost everything, now you got to prove that your things work, that you can do this again, because a true millionaire can lose $1 million and then make it back again. So it's going to be interesting watching you, Ben. But man, just keep God first in your life, man. Just keep God first in your life. That's the best advice I can give you, brother. All right, guys. Have to turn the sad music off. I've probably lost everybody in the channel. Let's go over to the chat, see what's going on, and we'll make sure we're getting all these coins over here. Here we go. The Palau ID is for KYC on certain exchanges. Yeah, but I don't. I think there's a catch, man. I just think there's a catch. And I think it ties with ID. You still have to KYC there to do all that. You're giving this country all your information. You're getting 2 IDs. You're getting their ID that will allow you to bypass the exchanges, and you're also getting another one here for the US. And I don't know how it will work like in Canada and things like that, but I guarantee you they put the screws to there for these poor nation, and they will get that information if they want to get your information. Twist that arm. Here you go, sir. Because the US has recently made a big contract with them. I don't trust it. I don't. Digital IDs will be a thing, but I don't know if I would want to do it that way. And then you got the questionable thing. I guarantee you the IRS would be very interested. And it will be easy for the IRS to get that information because of the US's agreements with this small, tiny country. And especially maritime law that governs commerce. So that's my red flags for it. I just had to get that out there. I mean, I know it sounds great, but you know, sounds like a neat little loophole, but I don't know, man. And I gotta say, look who's delivering this information, and look at his recent choices and behaviors and where he is right now because of that. I can't endorse it. And then of course he's got the indicator, which I've never seen, and he maybe should have on the show, but that's just kind of, how can you say that's a proven indicator? And then on pro traders, you need to explain all this stuff a little bit more, Ben. Zach, Twitter is just having a crazy storm with that. What is his name? Zach? I can't even remember. ZBT? Oh, I can't even. And a Tozy might even, I don't know. Tozy's got better things to sit here and talk about being all the time. And we probably do too. But I just had to get that out there. I just thought it was a warning. But do know this, that as we start getting into this market, there will be lots more YouTube videos out there. And, you know, some of them are very honorable analysts. Let's take Charting Crypto, for instance. Shout out to Charting Crypto. If you don't know who he is, you need to check him out. another analyst I admire on his heart's in the right place. He's doing the right things. There's lots of analysts on here that do the right things and try to do the right things. Then there's also the other ones that are just more interested in making a buck off their viewers. And, you know, especially the trading group ones. I'm telling you, man, you get 1,000 people paying you $100 a month, and then you come on after a big ass bear market acting like you traded your way to all this money. Yet when you show you never really are transparent about any major trades. You will talk about the good ones when you get them, but the review and far, it doesn't add up. It no add up. So I feel sorry for people that come in this market being shielded this. You need to join this so you can learn. You have no idea. I do this. I'm outstanding. And then, man. And it's one thing if they back up their stuff, you know? All the information you need's out here. The statistics are out here. The real information is out here for free. And some of these guys are just trying to make up their own patterns to get a name for themselves. I do it differently than the traditional does, but I knock it out of the park. You know, it bothers the crap out of me, man. So I've got the Rad Ass Award that I give tonight. I'm giving it to Ben. But I may give that to some more people if I see some crazy things going on there. So congratulations, Ben, man. You kind of erratic right now. Hope you pull it together, brother. Right now, you just won the Rad Ass Award. All right, so we got some more coins to look at. Let's get back on target here. I've got a few minutes left. Let's see what we can knock out here. Chris said, I read that the indicator is similar to a free one anyway. It probably is. Most likely it is. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But anyway, I mean, isn't it better if you prove that it's useful, you know, kind of prove it first? There was another indicator another influencer that was doing that, and they were talking about that, and I'm like, dude, all you talk about is stochastics all the time. And now you're going to pull out this complicated looking indicator just so you can make a buck, and you don't even use it. It's not even what you go by. Well, it's based on your strat. You know, they luckily, you know, something fell through with that. It didn't happen, so that was a good move. Whether it was decided or that's just how it happens. Evan says he deserves everything coming his way. Well, you make your bed, you lay in it. Yeah, I mean, he's manifested this whole thing. His life is exactly the way he wants it. Oh, I don't know, man. It's just, you make it all too easy, Mr. Jones. Okay, Chris says there's some kind of ape event next week. So it might be in the trends this week. If it's this week, I'm curious. We've got a lot of news coming out on the markets this week. I think the first week of November coming up, we may see a lot of volatility because we're going through the Fed numbers and all that stuff again. So that's something we starting to look at earlier this week. Let's go back to Bitcoin just a second and see how he's doing. I think it's a he. I think ETH is a she. ETH has all the kids. I mean, it makes perfect sense. ETH had all the tokens. Bitcoin was the daddy. ETH's the mama. Oh, cloud's getting a little thick there. That's interesting. We're still above the 9 moving average, so I can't see anything bearish until we get below that 9 moving average. And it's on the 12 hour, on the daily, losing it on the 4 hour, lost it on the 1 hour or 2 hour and the 1 hour. Here, but you know, the next target down from losing those is the 50, and we're there finding support. So should just kind of, and we were looking at the idea of a possible head and shoulders right last night, and it made a neckline. Did not play out though. And I was talking about how beautiful that was, that this being a lower shoulder. That was typically the best ones ever. And still, this tells me You know, and my original thesis that, you know, the bigger money's at play right here, just kind of finagling us, trying to get fear and greed, just manipulate sentiment. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. People being greedy right now. They buy it like crazy. It's going down a little bit. 72 yesterday. It's 68 today. Now, when we get in the green, and man, I'm telling you, well, it was up in the 90s, 98 and all that during the bull market when we were hitting those, you know, high 50s and low 60,000 numbers. It was crazy over here. But when you get in the green, that's when, you know, it's highly recommended to start looking at taking profit. Want to buy over here in fear and sell over here in greed. And we're starting to get a little bit greedy. So again, with Bitcoin, I'm very curious to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a fake out Monday. It's usually a false move Monday is what they call it. By Tuesday, we should get a better idea of what's actually going on. But I don't, you know, I'm expecting them to try to make us think it's going to come down and then boost us to the upside. I honestly think that a replay of 2020 could be in order. Just keep your eyes out. I'm not calling it, just saying it's there. We need to look at it. Just be real. Be real. They may be trying to fake us out because they like to do that. But another 50 billion coming into altcoins, in my personal opinion, and there will be some strong resistance there. So taking profits in altcoins when you can, or moonbagging your projects if you can do that. Might be some good moonbag opportunities coming up. And that's my main goal with my altcoins. Can you look at gods? I sure can. I've got a little bit of gods that I bought way too expensive, and now it just sits there dwindling over on crypto.com. But I did notice it was going up some. Let's look on who's got it. Binance would be the best place to look for the chart. I don't even see Binance on here. Pancake swap. You didn't delist that, did you, Binance? All right, I'm just looking for a good chart with lots of information. With a good history there. Okay, well. When was this? 2021. Okay, well, I think that's probably the end of it. So we got a hockey stick formation here, which, you know, I've seen that bag just go down to nothing. Is this the best chart? Yeah, about the same. Okay, well, I got it charted over here on KuCoin. I haven't looked at it in a little while to see what we had. We were looking at, and this was a while back too. This was back. We were looking at, it was rounding there, and then it bottomed, dropped to the bottom. One of the issues with trying to draw these curved lines, it doesn't always nail it. But still, I mean, it's still curving out. It just went to a lower level there. We were watching this trend line, and then she just broke to the downside of it. We're looking for the possibility to break out up there to 48 cents. Okay, so none of that happened. Those levels are still relevant. The only thing I got to, I seriously think that we're still in a big accumulation. It's good that we're coming into this Ichimoku cloud on the weekly. This is the weekly chart. I want to carry this over here. Track that down. What I want to see, and I've talked about this on the other coins earlier, I need to see some divergence. To feel comfortable that we're actually getting a turnaround. Otherwise, I think we may still be an accumulation on this one. This one may be a slow mover for a little while, because the parabola we're looking at up there fell to the downside here, right? But it just makes a bigger curved area. So we could still range all through here, in my personal opinion, even come back down to 15 cents. But you know, if you like this one, it got up high. I mean, it did pretty good, or I wouldn't even looked at getting it in at all. I think I first learned about it through Dub Digital. I think it's a game that he plays, and I was looking for a game and play, and it was, you know, it got hot for a while. It can get hot again. So I'm trying to look for the all-time high here and get some information. 50 million maximum supply, and half of that's out there right now. So all-time high was $8.83 2 years ago. And we're sitting at about 22 cents. So just making it up half that is pretty impressive. And that's how I kind of look at it. So this area, 455. Let's redo our fibs here. Now we're still right in it. That's our 618 at 556. Halfway market 455 in that area, and even up to 7. So those are my targets long term on it. I'm just keeping them right there. And that's where it's going to be worthwhile for me to sell my bag. Actually, I think I got some under $1, but a lot of them I picked up were right around $1, over $1. I don't know. It's about October, I think, of last year. Oh, that would have put us about, I don't know. I'll have to look. I just know I'm underwater on it. The small bag went to be a tiny bag, but it's got some potential. So I've got no reason to sell it now. I just got to let it stay there until, you know, we hit those juicy targets around $4 or $5. But one of the things I do like, and I talk about this, when you do get at the time of the markets, when you have these rounded formations, and this one may stay here for a little while, what you usually will see is, well, I call it the butt crack. It doesn't always have to do this, but at some point price will come up a little bit, and then we'll start coming back down and start touching them, and it kind of makes like a, you know, butt cheeks. It just does. But you typically see a falling wedge type pattern. Kind of like what we got here. And then it'll level out, and then a lot of times you'll see a megaphone pattern. Either like a megaphone pattern, or eventually get a rising wedge. Can I draw a rising wedge? Learn to draw! Something will look like this, and then after this plays out, the rising wedge part, and it may range in between here, that's when you get your parabolic breakout, and then that's when it starts looking like this in reverse. And that can take a while. That can take a while for that happens. But eventually it, you know, when we get these curving bottoms, that's usually how, that's what it does. You just got to make sure you're catching the right curve. And you draw it too early trying to guesstimate, it can miss it, and that's what I did. That's why when we first came over here, you saw, and that's another reason I don't like to move them around. So I think we were looking at something like this. I think this is what it was. And at the time, that was kind of fitting, and we're hoping that would stick, but really, it just turns out bigger. And when I draw them, I like to draw them, and I don't like to do all this moving around stuff. I don't know. I'm like, well, that's kind of like an arbitrary trend line, and I can put it just wherever I want to. That doesn't make me feel confident that it will stick. But I feel more confident if they just kind of naturally form there, and that one just kind of did. So gods, I think it's got a chance. It's just, man, that was going to take a while. I mean, we're talking like a year or two. You know, this time next year, maybe we'll be seeing those decent prices out of it. But ZRX is really going. We did look at that, didn't we? ZRX2, the Kraken's got it. Yeah. She looks really good. Look at that cloud, man, here on the 24 minute. So, and seeing this happen a lot more with altcoins where we'll come down and just touch the cloud and bounce off of it. And look at that. I like that. And this one's got some legs. Am I in this? Do I have zero? Do I need it's? Ooh, she's up there high, isn't she? So you'd feel like FOMOing in if you can't. I would feel like I'm FOMOing in if I bought now. Oh, we got some patterns here on a different chart. Oh, I remember you. Okay. Yeah. I still think we charted this on a different chart. But this trend line will... This will come into play at some point, but that does tell us that we can at least get it back up and retest these areas around 38. I remember you now. Yeah, this was our double bottom scenario thing. Yeah, she's taking off. Still looking good. Still looks like she wants to keep going up. 0x, man. Make some money. Make some money. The road dog effect. There's that box. It won't let me read what I got here. Chris says, wow, I just sold my coins. I know that's why I tried to get that rule where I don't sell off all my position. Because you'll see that happen, man. You will. It happened. TRB got me. TRB got me. I had no idea it was going up to $100. I mean, who did? I mean, to be so bullish so quick when all the other altcoins are pulling back and TRB just takes off. So, I mean, I got out of that one, I think it lasted somewhere between $22 and $25 at the highest. So I technically made profit, so I'm grateful for that, but I went against my rule. I accidentally sold them. I thought I was holding some, but I wasn't. So little mistakes we make. Striga says, I'm greedy. Kevin says, I noticed it's the worst performing GameFi coin on Crow. Thank you for looking at it for us. Oh, no problem. Yeah, Gods in Chain. It seems like a cool game, though. I mean, I've never played it. I'm not a gamer, but a lot of people are. Although most gamers don't like the crypto games, and there are some dull crypto games out there. Should just use the coin market cap link. But I mean, it looks cool. I don't know how it's played or anything, but trading card game where every card and victory is truly yours. But one of those type games that, yeah, I cannot play those. I like that they look like tarot cards though. That's kind of cool, but Striga said ignored his order there. All right, guys. I appreciate you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We've been on here for about an hour and a half. It's about as long as anybody does want to sit through and watch a stream. So I thank you for being here, and we will come back, and I'll be here again tomorrow night. Trying to figure out if I'm going to do a daytime show. I'll try to do one either tomorrow or Tuesday. But I plan on keeping these late night ones. It's just my time, man. And when China gets into the picture, this time zone will be popping off like crazy. But I appreciate y'all for being here. If you can, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And I want to bid you guys good night. See you tomorrow, and God bless. Pay yourself. Take some profit.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine. with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Sure you like my vibe, that's my candy on my red.